Valerie. Good morning, everyone. As usual, let's get started with our chin tucks and head turns. So we're really trying to lift up through our torso here, feeling that space between our vertebrae. Chin tuck back for 10. Let's get ready and begin. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Good. Let's maintain that length. Okay. And we're going to head turn 5 each direction, alternating. Ready? Begin. 1, back to center. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Good. We're going to go into a short warm up here, starting with cat cows. Okay, so you can either do this from your seated position with your hands on your knees, arching and tucking. Okay, so really trying to get some movement through the spine. Okay, or you can put your hands on a chair here. You can also just so that you can do this right on the floor on your hands and knees here too. This is a traditional cat cow. I know there's varying fitness abilities here, so pick which one is most ideal for you, okay? So we're going to go ahead and do 30 seconds here in 3, 2, and 1, okay? Here we go. Just arching and tucking. Not forcing anything, just waking up the spine. Some gentle movement here. We're going to go into 4 count cherry pickers next for 30 seconds. 3, 2, and 1. Okay, so if you're on the floor, come back up. We're going to go ahead, wide stance, wider than our shoulders. Okay, we're going to do our 4 count cherry pickers. Ready? Begin. We're reaching outwards. Now middle. Now in between the legs and up, okay? You don't have to touch the floor per se. You're just reaching and feeling that stretch through the back side of the body. You can also do this in your seated position, okay? You just want to make sure that your legs are just a little bit outside, your feet are just a little outside the shoulders. Good. 3, 2, and 1. Okay, so next we're going to do our 4 count chain breakers, seated or standing. Okay, so like we're pulling apart a chain for 3, and then on 4, we open all the way up. Okay, here we go. Now, if you're standing with me, make sure you're squeezing your glutes. Okay, that's going to give you a nice, stable base of support through the trunk of your body by keeping those glutes engaged. Three, 2, and 1. Okay, next one, we're going to keep with the upper body. We're going to do 2 pulse swimmers. So seated or standing, pulse, 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 pulse. Okay, ready? Begin. Ten more seconds here. And time on those. Okay. Next, we are going to do hip circles. So standing, you're going to be nice and wide. We're going to rotate around the full 30 seconds this way. If you're begin, and if you're seated, right here, you're going to look like this if you're seated. Okay. Standing, there's a little more of the hip movement involved here. 30 seconds this direction, and then the next 30 seconds we're going to go on the other. So feeling we got that ball and socket joint here, right? Kind of warming up the hips here. Okay, let's get ready to move in the other direction. 3, 2, and 1, other direction. We have one more exercise. After this, we're going to do a total body extension. After this, and then we're going to move on. 10 more seconds here. 3, 2, and 1. Okay, so total body extension is kind of your feet are underneath your hips, toes are forward, and it's almost like you're gonna jump and leap forward, and then you come up. Okay, right here, right here. So it's like you're gonna jump, and then you just stand up. If you feel and pick your pace. Okay, if this feels too fast, the pace I'm going, slow it down. Okay. Two, and 1. Okay, guys. Nice little warm up there. What we're going to do today is 2 ABABs. Okay, they're 12 minutes long. There's 6 exercises in the first block. There's 6 exercises in the second block. Okay, we're going to do ABAB for 12 minutes on the first one, and then 12 minutes ABAB on the second one. And then as a finisher, we're going to go through all 12 of those exercises, the first 6 and the second 6, for one more round, okay? So our first ABAB is going to be squats, okay? A goblet squat or a body weight squat. So you can hold a weight right here up at your chest, right? As we sink it down, drive it up, okay? So remember, we're really on the way up here. When we're coming up right here, I'm really squeezing as I come up, okay? If you're seated, we're going to alternate our legs, just like this, okay? That's your seated variation. We're pairing that exercise with our jumping jacks, okay? So here's your in-between right here. This is our modified. Maybe you can do some regulars in there. Pepper them through if you're advanced, okay? You can come back this way if overhead hurts with your arms, okay? And seated, here we are, okay? So there are our first 2 exercises, all right? After that, we're gonna go to a ground overhead. We're gonna take a weight, or just do a body weight, okay? You're going to pick it, you're gonna pretend you're lifting off the floor, coming up and putting it on a shelf, okay? Pick it up off the floor to the shelf, okay? Now I'm gonna keep the dumbbell in my hands the whole time. I'm not actually gonna place it on the floor, but essentially that's your movement pattern, right? Like you're lifting something up and putting it away, right? So here, and look at my back here when I do that, okay? We're trying to keep it as neutral as possible, okay? So we don't want to like round like this, right? We want to make sure we're sinking the hips back and trying to keep that nice neutral spine. Excellent. That looks really good. Yep. Up. Okay. Down. Up. Okay. So that one, and then we're pairing that one with a knee raise. Okay. Try to get some rotation into that knee raise so that you get your abs here. We're getting our lower abs and our obliques. If the rotation hurts though, just take it out, okay? If you feel any discomfort or pain, just take the rotation out for that one. And that's gonna look the same seated, okay? The last one is our hinge and row. Nothing new here, okay? The last AB is hinge and row. And kick back and kick back, okay? So our hamstring kick back and our tricep kick back, okay? That's our last combo. So all the way to the top, you're gonna grab your weight for your goblet squat, or you're gonna be seated for your seated alternating leg extension, okay? Or you can do a body weight squat, okay? So let's get ready. 45 seconds is going on the clock. In 3, 2, and 1. Remember, those heels are about shoulder width apart as we lower down and drive it up. Okay, I'm really pressing my heels into the floor as I lift up to standing. That really helps me recruit my glute muscles. We're looking for that mind muscle connection. You want to feel that you're tensing them up, right? Your glutes. And even when you're standing, you'll feel your quadriceps here too. So remember, we're pairing this one with jumping jacks. Three, 2, and 1. Okay, if you're using a weight, you can put that aside. Okay, we're either going into seated jumping jacks or standing. You pick your level and your arm position, okay? Here we go, 3, 2, and 1. So here I would say is the in-between right here. You can adjust your tempo, all right? March to your beat. If you're advanced, you might do this a little bit too, all right? And you could also do this from your chair. Remember, your arms can come this way if your shoulders hurt, okay? So it's all about tailoring it to what works with your unique body, okay? We're gonna go back to our goblet squats after this. 3, 2, and 1. Whew, okay. Remember to always get your drinks whenever you need them, okay? Don't let the timer stop you if you're thirsty, okay? Here we go for our second set. Heels are about shoulder width apart. Ready? Begin. Lower down. Squeeze and drive up. Side profile here. Excellent. Pass halfway for these. Good. 10 more seconds. 5. And time. Okay, if you're using that weight, let's put it aside. Back to our jumping jacks. Okay. Here we go in 3, 2, and 1. So you pick your level here. Remember, we have lots of options on how to do this. Good. We're going to go to our ground to overhead next. Remember, that's so where we're pretending to pick that item up off the floor and then put it on a shelf, right? That's what we're mimicking. This next full body movement, functional movement. 2, and 1. Okay, so remember, feet are about shoulder width apart here. Picking up, putting away, right? 3, 2, and 1. Let's go. I don't think I demoed this one sitting down. So here is the seated variation. All right. We're pairing this one with our knee raise and oblique twist. Two, and 1. Okay, weight aside here, or you could even use a light dumbbell. If you have a light dumbbell and you want to use it to twist. Can absolutely do that. Ready? And begin. And this one's great seated or standing. They're both really good ones. Take the rotation out of it if it's causing you any pain. Nice, sharp, noisy exhale. Blow out through your mouth as you raise your knee and twist. Really get those ab muscles working. 10 more seconds here. Remember, the weight is optional. And time, okay. Back to our ground to overhead. Remember to get your drinks whenever you need them. Here we go in 3, 2, and 1. Here we go. So bending down to pick it up and put it away, right? Trying to keep a nice neutral spine. We're going back to our knee raise with our oblique twist next. And time. Okay. Option to hold on to that weight, or you can put it down. Remember, you can, this is our seated variation here as well, or take the twist out, okay? Ready? Begin. So the knee raise gets into our lower abdominals and also focuses on balance here. The twist gets into our obliques and adds a layer of challenge to our balance. Excellent. We go into hinge and row next. So 2 weights for our next exercise. 3, 2, and 1. Excellent. Okay. Final AB for this first block. We're going to do our hinge and row. Feet are right under my hips, whether I'm seated or standing, okay? Nice neutral spine here. Ready? Begin. So we're going to push those hips back. Chest is parallel to the floor. Squeeze up. Next, we have our kickbacks, our hamstring kickbacks paired with our tricep kickbacks. So a light pair of weights or no weights. And time, okay? So either your lighter weights or you can even do it without weights. Here we go in 3, 2, and 1. Remember, if you're seated for this one, you're kind of closer towards the edge of the chair so you can toe tap back. Keep it going just like this. I'm at the edge of my chair, tap it, tap it, tap it, tap it, okay? So seated variation, keep it going. Good, 10 more seconds here. 3, 2, and time. Okay, back to our hinge and row. So if you have more than one pair of weights, you'd be going back to your heavier ones now, okay? Feet are right under your hips, toes are forward. Here we go. Hinge, row. Squeeze the glutes to stand. I'm trying to really keep my belly button pulled back towards my spine. Trying to keep that engagement. Three, two, and time on those. Back to our kickbacks and kickbacks. All right, so hamstring curl kickbacks, tricep kickbacks. 3, 2, and 1. Here we go. Good, we're gonna go into our second block after this. 10 more seconds here. 3, 2, and 1. Okay, good job. Take a break here. Let's not forget those exercises though, because we will be doing them again, okay, after the second block. So recover, get a drink. Our second block, same format. Our first AB is our alternating lunging. Okay, so if you're seated, we're going to be kind of at the edge of our chair, leaning back, and we're pressing, we're doing our alternating leg press. This is in lieu of our lunge. Okay, so if you're going to stay seated, this is what we're doing here. Okay, otherwise, hold on to the side of your chair or onto the back of your chair with 2 hands, and we're going to alternate our lunge. Whoops, okay. So alternating lunges or a seated leg press. We're pairing that with sweep, shoot, sweep, shoot, okay? Sweep, shoot. So it's almost like our over and under, but then we add a calf raise, right? Okay, so sweep and shoot and our lunge, that's our first combination. Then we're gonna go into our rope pull. Okay, and that's going to be paired with our 3-way ball pass. So you can either do no weight, a water bottle, or a lightweight. Okay, we did this last time we were together. We would pass, pass, pass. So we're always coming back to center in between our passes. Okay, and that is our second AB. And then our last is going to be our 3 count or lateral 3 count high knees. 1, 2, 3, hold. 1, 2, 3, hold. So you can either do it 1, 2, 3, hold, okay, and have full control over it here, or if you want to shuffle, okay, pretend you're on hot coals, right? Like, ouch, hot, hot, right? Hot coals, ouch, hot, hot. Okay, so that would be your advanced version, okay? So you don't have to do that hot coal one if you don't want, all right? And then we're gonna pair that with seal jacks, okay? So if you were doing the seal jacks round 1, just keep doing them round 2, okay? All right, so that's our next one. So let's get ready. We're gonna start with lunging, okay? Lunging or a alternating seated leg press, okay? Let's get ready and begin, okay? So step it back, lower down, drive it up, return, okay? Use your chair for stability. If you need it, either hold on to the side or you can use both hands to hold on to the back. Remember, the quality of your movement is really important. You don't want to teach your body how to do things your exercises improperly, you're going to recruit faulty movement patterns, and you're going to get used to them the wrong way. So just take your time and focus on the quality of your repetitions. 2 and 1. Okay. Sweep and shoot is next, okay? So if you're seated, you're going to be wide here with your feet. Sweep, shoot. This is what it looks like seated. Okay? That's seated. Here we go. Otherwise, you're sweep, and if you're really advanced, maybe you want to hop instead of coming up to your tippy toes. Maybe that works for you. And hop. Good. And hop. Okay, so that's just another option. Ten more seconds here. Whew. Feeling the heat now. 2 and 1. Whew. Okay. Get your drinks if you need it. We're going back to lunging. This is a tough little combo right here, okay? Lunging or seated leg press. Ready? Begin. Remember, when I watch me step back here, see the space between my left and right foot, right? That's going to help with your balance, making sure there's space between the legs versus something like this. You see how my leg disappeared? That's going to give you less balance, right? And make it harder for you. Try to keep some space. And we're primarily focused on this front leg, this front glute as I push up, right? I'm really thinking about this engaging right here. Squeeze, right? 5 more seconds. In 3, 2, and 1. Here we go. Sweep, pick the ball up, boom, shoot. Sweep, grab it, shoot. Halfway. Our rope pull is next. Three, 2, and time. Woo, okay, rope pull. So either seated or standing. If you're standing, I want you to think of that pelvic tuck. Squeeze your glutes, okay? Keep this nice and tight here, okay? Here we go. Keeping your glutes engaged. We're getting core work here, okay? And also, this motion, this pulling, okay? We're using the lat muscle, okay? These are these muscles back here, the largest muscle in the upper body, okay? And they help with posture. 2 and 1, okay? We're pulling, or we're pairing that with our 3-way ball pass. So you're doing your sweep and shoot, you have a ball, you want to use your ball for this one, you can. You can either do a very lightweight, I have a 2-pound So feet are about shoulder width apart here. Okay, we're going to keep our core engaged. Ready? And begin. Keep the glutes squeezed. You're putting some intensity behind it, right? You're like, what? I don't like that side. You're pulling something down you don't like off the wall, or you're raising the mast on a ship. Five, 3, 2, and 1. Good. Back to that three-way ball pass. So we do this pull movement. Now we're going to do a push movement, okay? And begin. We're going to pass, pivot, and pass. Pass, pivot, and pass. Now, if you're seated, you don't have to worry about the pivot with the feet. Okay. Good. 10 more seconds. 2, whoo, and 1. All right. Body weight here. So we're going to do our 1, 2, 3, hold. 1, 2, 3, hold. Okay. And if you're a little advanced, you might do that little hot cold shuffle. Okay. Ready? Begin. 1, 2, 3, hold. So this is the moderate. And if you're seated, you're just doing the same thing seated. 1, 2, 3, hold. All right. So this is your middle level right here. And then this is your 1, 2, 3, advanced. 1, 2, 3, right? 1, 2, 3. You kind of stay on the balls of your toes. And maybe just like with our jumping jacks, maybe you do a few like this, and then you go back to slowing it down, okay? Maybe you're somewhere in between advanced and moderate, and you need to do a little bit of both, okay? 5 more seconds here. And time. And that is paired with our seal jack, okay? So, whew, let's get ready. In 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. So I want you to think with this seal jack, think of in between your shoulder blades. Think of squeezing, like trying to crack an egg in between your shoulder blades, okay? We're really working those upper back muscles here, those posture muscles, all those little muscles around our scapula. We're also getting a nice stretch through the front of the chest, which is often tight due to rounded posture. Go at your own pace. 5 more seconds, then we have 1 more set of those shuffles. Okay, time. All right, 1 more set of those lateral 3-count high knees. Remember, 1, 2, 3, and hold, or 1, 2, 3, hold. 1, 2, 3, hold. Okay, you pick. All right, or somewhere in between. Let's go. 1, 2, 3. Okay, so I'm doing the moderate in between. You could also do the seated without the lateral movement. Or you can pick it up. 1, 2, 3. Like you're shuffling through hot sand on the beach, right? Okay, and you can always bring it back down if it gets a little too intense, okay? So you do you. 3, 2, and 1. Woo, final set of seal jacks, okay? And I'll take a brief rest and put it all together. All right, seal jacks in 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Remember, this is your workout. You choose your intensity, okay? Some days you're gonna feel stronger than others, okay? Always stay hydrated. Make sure you're getting your drinks. If you're advanced, you might put a couple regular through there. Past halfway. We break after this one. Three, 2, and 1. Okay, good job. Take a rest. Take a rest. We're not done yet. We've got our finisher next, okay? So final 12-minute block here. And we're just doing one round straight through of our first block and our second block, okay? So we're going to start with our goblet squats, okay? Or if you're seated, you're alternating seated leg extension, okay? So if you're using your weight, go ahead, hold it up here, okay? Feet are about shoulder width apart, slightly flare out with the toes. 45 seconds is going on the clock. Let's get ready. And begin. Here we go. Down, drive it up. So see, I'm trying to keep my shins. If you look at my shins and my back, I'm trying to keep this part of my shin and this part of my back kind of parallel to one another, right? If I was bending over too forward like our hinge, I'd no longer be parallel, right? So we got to keep that chest up slightly as we drive up, right? Five, 3, 2, and 1. Okay, all done with squats. Next we have jumping jacks, okay? Regular arms here for the jumping jacks, except if that hurts your shoulders, then go back to your seal jack, okay? Seated or standing, let's begin. So you pick your level. You know, there's tons of way to adjust this to make it suit you, okay? Halfway. And we're gonna go to that ground to overhead movement where we're picking something up off the floor and putting it away. 10 more seconds. Woo. 2, and 1. Okay. Starting to feel that accumulation. All right. One single weight or a water bottle, or just pretend you're holding something. That's best. Feet are about shoulder width apart. I'm gonna pick it up, put it away. Okay. The weight doesn't leave my hands, but essentially that's what the movement reminds you of, right? Front, halfway. And we're pairing this on with our knee raise and oblique twist with the option to hold a weight. 2, and 1. Excellent. All right, so knee raise with an oblique twist, seated or standing. The weight is an option. You don't have to use it. And remember, if you feel tweaking or pinching in your back, take the rotation out. Ready? Here we go. Otherwise, giving a nice strong exhale as my knee comes up and I twist over that knee. halfway. Next is our hinge and row. 3, 2, and 1. Okay. Hinge and row is next. Okay. So both weights here. Feet are underneath the hips. Toes are forward. We're going to push those hips back. Ready? And begin. We push them back. Now see how this one's different than our squat. Okay. Where now our chest is more parallel to the floor. It's more like taking a bow where the squat is not. The hinging part of the hips, we're working the hamstrings, the glutes, and the lower back. The rowing portion is working our lats and our biceps. Three, 2, and 1. Okay. Lighter weights for this one. If you've got a selection of weights here, we're going to our tricep kickback with our ham curl kickback. Okay. Let's get ready. In 3, 2, and 1. Here we go. We're going right into our next set of 6 exercises after this one. So next on the menu is our lunging or our alternating seated leg press, okay? Almost there. 5 more seconds. 3, 2, and 1. All right. Get ready for your alternating lunging. Either both hands on the back of the chair, one hand on the side of the chair, no hands, okay? Or your alternating seated leg press. Ready? Here we go. Step it back, lower down, drive it up, return. Remember, what's really important here is that on that front leg, that front foot, that heel of the foot maintains a connection to the floor the whole time. If your heel is popping up off the floor on that front foot, then you need to adjust your stance. Sweep and shoot is next, okay? 10 more seconds here. 3, 2, and time. Woo, okay. Sweep and shoot is next. These two are toughies right here, okay? Let's get ready. In 3, 2, and 1. Here we go. Sweep, pick up the ball, boom. Remember, if you're advanced, maybe you want to jump it, okay? You don't have to. But if you are able to, if your body's okay with that and it doesn't cause you problems, a little bit of plyometric and jumping, like with our jumping jacks, and this is really good for creating a stronger bone density, right? To help offset osteoporosis and whatnot, right? 3, 2, and 1. That one's sneaky because it's kind of fun, but then it catches up to you. All right, rope pull, okay? So standing up, make sure you're tucked and engaged, okay? Keep this scooped and keep this tucked, okay? Here we go. That should make it feel like a really nice, strong, stable base of support so you can add some, it helps you get that intensity we're looking for. And these are sneaky too. because you're creating all this extra intensity with your body that it seems easy enough, but then you really start to feel that, that work after a period of time. 10 more seconds here, then we're on a 3-way ball pass. 2 and 1, okay. Back to lightweight, no weight or a water bottle or something. Okay, remember if you're seated, you don't have to pivot the feet, okay? Let's get ready. 3, 2, and 1. We're gonna pass it, pivot and pass. Pass it, pivot and pass. It's important we move our body in all sorts of directions, right? So we've got this as a rotational move right here, right? We're rotating through the body. Ten more seconds. 2 and 1. Okay, almost there. We've got our lateral 3-count high knee so we can put the weights away, right? And it's 1, 2, 3, hold, okay? If you're seated, just take the lateral movement out, okay? Or you can shuffle it. Here we go. So you can either do it like this, or 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. All right? Hot sand, ow, 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 right? We all know what that's like when you're walking to the beach and the sand's too hot to stand on. You pick your level. Maybe you've done those for a few, and you got to come back here just to reset, right? Less than 10 seconds. 3, 2, and 1. Okay, final move, guys. Seal jacks, okay? Let's finish strong. I feel that heart rate up. It's okay. All right, lean into that discomfort as long as it's not acute pain. It's okay. All right, here we go. Remember, I'm thinking of my shoulder blades. My scapula is pulling my arms back, right? Don't think of your fingertips as going back. Think of this part of your back as making that go back, okay? Really get in touch with the body mechanics, how your body actually works, what makes it work, right? And the muscles in the back here, in the upper back, are what's pulling those arms and hands back. 10 more seconds. I'm gonna finish with jumping jacks for the last 10. 3, 2, and 1. Woo! All right, guys. Nice work, nice work. So go ahead and get a drink. We're gonna do a cool down here real quick. So we had a lot of abs incorporated into our workout today. Okay, so we didn't do as much traditional crunches and whatnot, but things like your high knees. Anytime you're bringing your knees up and over and twisting, you're getting into your core. So let's start from the bottom up today. We're gonna do a hamstring stretch and then we're gonna do our ankles. So pop your foot up onto some elevation here. Okay, whether it's your chair or maybe you have a step or a stool. Okay, I have a stool. This is a little bit lower. Right, this is a little bit lower than my chair. Maybe you have something like that around. You could even hold the back of your chair and do it like this. And then take that same leg and just go through the ankle now on that leg. Flex and point for 5, and then do your circles for 5 each direction. Good. Same thing other side, okay? So pick your elevation, whether it's your chair, a stool, a step, just leaning over or seated, okay? Feeling that stretch to the back of the leg here, okay? And then when you're ready, come on out of that. Same thing with the ankle on this side. Flex and point for 5, and then 5 each direction. Good. All right, so let's go up a little bit further into the glutes here and take a seat into our chair, okay? And you can do your figure 4 stretch. I want to show you another variation if you're comfortable with being on the floor. This is, that's the seated variation, and we usually do that one, and I love that variation. But here is one that you can do from the floor as well, if you have a preference to do it this way, okay? So you can tell it looks the same. It just looks like I'm sitting on a chair on the floor, right? Okay, so either or, it's all just a matter of what, you know, if it's hard to get up and down off the floor, then that doesn't make sense to do that one, right? Let's just stay right here then, okay? And we're targeting on the glute and the outside of the glute here. All right, now let's go ahead and switch sides, okay? Same thing, other side. Good. All right, from there, we're gonna creep our way up. We're gonna stand up. We're gonna do our forward fold on the back of the chair. I love this because this will get back into the back of our legs again. It'll also stretch out our back and our shoulders here, okay? So we get a lot of bang for our buck here, okay? So we're just kind of gently folding into that, trying to create a 90-degree angle around the hip there. Your knees aren't locked out, they're soft. And you know that the goal is to kind of have your ears in between your arms, your biceps, but if you don't have that mobility, don't force it further than it wants to go. Good. All right, when you're ready, let's just slowly walk it up, okay? And we're gonna sit down one more time. We're gonna stay seated until the end here. What we're gonna do is we're gonna do our spinal twist now, okay? So I like to start with my arms on one side so I can arc it over, right? And I'm trying to look behind that shoulder. I'm not forcing, right? You don't want to force anything. You just want to try to go to your edge and relax into it. Good. And then let's arc it over to the other side. Good. Back to center. And we're going to go ahead and do a little bit of a side bend here. So you can pick a side, just feeling that stretch all down the side of the lat here. You can grab onto that wrist if you want. If that's too uncomfortable, you don't have to, okay? Side, and then let's switch it over to the other side. Good. All right, back to center. Let's go ahead and do a big inhale. Palms together, exhale down to heart. One more time, big inhale up. And exhale, palms to heart. All right, guys. Hope you enjoyed the workout and having a great start to your week. So